Bugchums Mini-Mart Merchant is a print and play roll and write that lets you use your dice in 3 different ways some of the time. What does that mean? Well, let me show you how it plays and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Alright, let's go briefly over how to play Bugchums Mini-Mart Merchant. You'll notice along the top there are 10 boxes for your rounds. Rounds 1 through 9 play the same basic way. Round 10 plays differently, which we will get into. So the first thing you're going to do is look at what round you're in and how many dice you're going to be rolling. So in the first round, you're going to be rolling 3 6-sided dice. In each round, you're going to be doing these 3 times and triggering certain things. So in round 1, we'll say we're in round 1 and we're doing our first roll. So we'll then roll the dice. So after your roll, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to check to see if you do any vending sales. The vending sales need certain abilities to happen. If you do accomplish those, you'll fill in a star and then trigger the ability. Right now, all this really does is this total of 7, which will allow me to reroll 1 die this turn. So we would just kind of mark off that star, reroll 1 of the dice, let's reroll the 2. From here now, you are going to again see, so you're in round 1, so that means you are dealing with this column. This column's round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, and then you move to the rows for 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you have the 6s. So you're going to look in this row, and these all hatch with a 6 or sell with a 4. So I could take a 6 and we could say, let's hatch this guy. You just color it in, and then we'll hatch Butterpuff here. So that was roll 1. Now you'll go to roll 2. So you'll roll it. You'll fill in your little mark here. So for the second 2 rolls of a round, you do not check your vending machine. That is only for your first roll. So you now have this roll. You're going to look and see again about possibly filling stuff in. If you need to adjust your dice, that's what these are. These are motes. You can spend 1 mote per die and can only use 1 mote at a time on a die. So even though I have 3 motes available, I cannot turn this 2 into a 5. 6s also do not go to 1s, and 1s do not go to 6s. So in this instance, I could fill in Jollibee with my 6. And then I could take my 5, and we'll say let's hatch Butterpuff. So you'll just draw a line through it. You'll repeat this 1 more time for round 1. You'll repeat this for round 2. So once you start getting to round 3 and you're rolling 4 dice, so you'd be rolling, you'd be checking for over here, can I trigger anything? Then after you do your eggs, you can start checking after your rolls to see if you accomplished any upgrades. Your motes no longer work. You cannot use your motes for the vending machine or the upgrades. You only can use them for the eggs. However, once you're done using them for the eggs, those are the dice you use. So looking at this, you can do 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, a full house, which is 2 of a kind and 3 of a kind, a sequence of 4, sequence of 5, or 5 of the same. If you accomplish a upgrade, you'll just circle it. So again, you're going to repeat these over the 9 rounds. Then once round 10 begins, you come down here to the bottom, and you're going to try to accomplish each task as you go across. So the first one would be roll 3d6 twice, fill in at least 1 star in your vending machine, but you do not gain any perks. And if you accomplish it, you'll just circle. And you'll just work your way across that row. There are 2 other things. So then we get down here to points. There's 2 things that you kind of score throughout the game. You have the first to sell 5 different bugs in each row. Each row depicts a trait. So once you're the first one, you will circle it, like so. The other thing is that if at any point you end up selling all 5 eggs in a terrarium, you will then fill in the ribbon, which will be worth points at the end of the game. So after you've completed your 10th round, you are going to add up your score. You're going to get points if you accomplished any of these first ofs. Your sales by column. Every egg in here that you sold is worth 5 points, 10, 15, 20, 25. Those get totaled up in these boxes. You're going to total up your upgrades here. Your vending, each star has a designated Zinny value. You'll put them there. Again, every ribbon is 10 Zinny. You're going to do that there. Add up your round 10. Your final total is there. If you're playing solo, you have your levels you can try to accomplish down here. If you're playing more than one player, then highest score, of course, wins. Let's move on to my thoughts. Alright, there you go. That's briefly how you play Bugchums Mini-Mart Merchant. So as I said, you can use the dice multiple ways. Because that first roll of every round, you're working on your vending machine. And that vending machine sometimes can unlock powerful abilities, especially once you start rolling 5 dice. Because like if you can get a total of 20, you can hatch or sell any 2 bugs of the same trait. Or if you get 24 or more, you hatch/sell a row 5 bug, which are the big bugs. So being able to trigger something like that at the beginning of the round can be super helpful. One of them gives you an extra round that you can play. Well, that's pretty powerful because now you have that 4th roll to help fill in stuff or help sell stuff. Then you can use them to hatch and sell your eggs. And that itself is a puzzle of when to sell which ones to hold on to. Because especially if you keep the 10th round ones in mind, you know, sometimes you're going to have to sell at least 1 bug of each trait. Or sell 3 bugs total to gain this bonus. So you don't want to hatch and sell everything with all of your dice. You want to kind of leave some of them so you can make sure you can get those row 10s when you're rolling and trying to do those. Also, you may think, all right, I'm going to do row 1. I'm just going to, use all my dice to hatch and sell and do all that. But then once you start working on your rows 6 through 9, you might start having to waste dice, not being able to use them optimally because you have to hatch, but then once you hatch, you don't have enough to sell. So it's that puzzle of when do I fill and when do I sell and what do I hold back to do on a future round. And then in regards to the third way of doing the upgrades, well, sometimes you may use your moats to actually knock down your dice so you can get some of those upgrades, which means you may not be able to do as many eggs as you'd like, but some of those upgrades that are harder to get, like the 5 of a kind or the sequence of 5, being able to use those moats to be able to get that yeah, it's suboptimal for your eggs, but don't discount the amount of Zinny you can get from those upgrades. So being able to do all these rolls, I mean, that is one thing I love in roll and writes is when they let you roll dice a lot. Sometimes it's like roll it, do a bunch of stuff with this one roll, so you're only rolling like 5 or 6 times. In this one, you're rolling at least 27 times before you even get to the final round of 5. So you're rolling at least 32 times. You might even unlock more by getting those extra rounds. This is also one of those fun roll and writes where as long as everyone has a sheet and a set of 5 dice, everyone can kind of just play together and you're rolling. The only player interaction really comes into that whole first to sell those traits. Otherwise, everyone can kind of just keep rolling, seeing how well they do, and just kind of compare each other, see who's the best at running their Mini-Mart. So it has that whole kind of, yeah, it's kind of solitaire play, but there is the whole race sometimes to get the traits. But it is just a fun, enjoying task and activity. You can just do around the table with everyone, and no one's just sitting on you, waiting for you to roll dice, waiting for you to roll dice. As long as they have their dice, everyone can just go and have fun. And then in regards to the moats, I mean, it looks like you got quite a few to begin with. But as I said, if you have 32 rolls, but you don't have that many moats, you're really going to kind of be limited of when is going to be the optimal time to use them, because you don't want to blow through them early and then you're right into the issue late of where you aren't going to be able to sell the eggs. So not all those hatched eggs are worthless because you didn't sell them. So overall, I really did enjoy this one. Like I said, I enjoyed the puzzly nature of when to fill in what and when to sell where. The artwork, the theme is super cute. I really enjoy all the different names, and just it does feel immersive as a theme in essence of with you rolling the dice, and then those things unlock certain abilities in here because they even have them named. So the 3 5s is triplet 5. 4 2s is dancing bees. So they do try and add like that little flavor, that little flair into there to kind of really try and immerse you into it. So again, that is Bugchums Mini-Mart Merchant. Check below for a link to the campaign. Also, while you're down there, you can go ahead and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell for this channel. All that stuff is awesome. So, until next time, catch 'em.